Good morning, YouTube. It's the Lofty Bike here. Got a special one today, a real special one. We'll come down to Cornwall Kawasaki in Lanna. Cop a look at this. Tell me what you think. There you go. Today's weapon of choice. We're taking out the Ninja, the SX, the supercharged. Don't it look gorgeous? Anyway, if you're interested in the Ninja H2 SX, you stick around. I'll see you in a minute. Okay, here we go. Today we're supercharged. Keyless ride. The H2 logo. Ninja H2 SX. Pegs are a little bit high for me, but we'll see how we go. Road's all clear. Typical sound of an inline four. Very, very nice. We're in a 50, dropping down into a 30. There we go. So we're running a quick shifter. They tell me that this model has got the adaptive cruise control. How about that? Blind spot recognition. I've got to say the mirrors are good. Blind spot recognition, pretty damn good. Anyway, we're going to take it over the top and have a bit of a look round. Okay, so here we are. Take a left. We'll just give it a bit of a try out in some of these poorer surfaced Cornish roads. Get over a bit, mate. So the first thing I notice, we got quite a firm seat. Okay, quite a hard seat. The cutaway in the tank is quite low, so it's not what you'd call ideal for a big lad. The fueling is absolutely sublime. I've got to say, it's probably one of the sweetest fueling bikes I've ridden for a long time. You could be doing 30 mile an hour in fourth gear and you just give it the slightest little bit of a turn and it picks up lovely. Yeah, it's very nice, very, very nice. We've got a quick shifter. Just show the blip, just literally just blip straight in. Sublime. Kawasaki have spent a long time developing this bike, honing its potential, and I've got to say the finished article, I would say if you were sort of 5'10", you would fit it beautifully. I've got these long legs, so 34 inside leg. I do find I'm not actually in the cutaway in the tank and it's pushing my legs out a little bit. It's okay. It's not what I would want as my daily ride. But literally you only have to sniff at the throttle and you're doing national speeds. The finish, absolutely beautiful. It's gorgeous. It is so pretty bike. There we go. Just first gear nice and steady, so just increase the revs a bit. Straight in. Got some good stoppers on the front. I love auto blip. I think it's one of the best. In fact, I preferred auto blip to the actual quick shifter. Saves you grabbing the clutch, you just bang it down a gear and away you go. It's an awfully nice machine, this. I think it would probably make Lofty a bit of a naughty boy. The bars are a little bit on the low side, but then would you expect it's a sports tourer? I've not ridden this 1000 SX for a long time. I can't really remember, but I know when I had my RS, I did have to put bar risers on. And personally, for me, I think this would probably need some bar risers on because I am so big. But it's a sweet machine. Anyway, I'm going to pull it up at Stidderton's and give you a look-see. I'll show you the bike. See you in a minute. Good morning, YouTube. Lofty's here. What do you reckon? We got the beast, the big beast, the Kawasaki, the Ninja 1000 SX H2. Here's the little beauty hiding down here, supercharged. Let's have a sit on it. So it's quite a long stretch, as you can see. Now I'll put my feet up, there you go. I can get my toes on the pegs, but this is the problem for me. It's a bit bulbous here. If I put my whole foot on the peg, I can sort of get in. In fact, the further I get forward, the easier it is to fit. But of course, I'm losing space then, so I'm going to have to try it out when I'm riding. Let's have a little bit of a closer look. What do you think? What do you think? It's gorgeous, isn't it? The characteristic H2 front. Yeah, this is the beast, isn't it? This is the beast. Keyless. Now this is one thing he pointed out to me. See this here, this little device here? That's part of the cruise control system, so you can't actually put a tail tidy. Let's have a close look at the bars. So keyless, you push down, you turn it to on. There we go, on. Beautiful. Look at that dash. Cracking dash, isn't it? Let's just fire it into life. The starting mechanism is just here, so you pull it back. Just come back to the dash. What do you reckon to that? I'll just show you the can. There's the can, bit of a rocket launcher. Have a listen. Let's kill that. So what have we got exactly? As you can see, gear indicator. We're in road mode. I don't see the point in altering it. You've got the KQS, the KEBC. They're all part of the traction control and the braking system. Got the fuel gauge down here. Temperature 24 degrees. 11:32. It's a lovely day. We've got an engine temperature of 67. It's done 345 miles. It's I think you're allowed to go up to about 6,000 or 7,000 revs with it now, which is about 175 miles an hour, so don't worry. I'm only joking. So, as a pull out, these your clip-ons, adjustable forks coming across. We've got a Brembo radial master cylinder with a jam pot. So the start stop is there. We've got an FM button for when you're working within the modes. Coming across, we've got a Nissin clutch hydraulic with a little jam pot. There it is. And we've got quite a few things. So we've got the pass, high beam, heated grips, modes, adjust, indicator, hazard warning, and underneath we've got the horn. Okay, so there you go. Shall we get the stats and have a bit of a talk about it, because there's quite a lot to say about this bike. Okay, so what exactly have we got? This is a 23 plate. They've been around since around 21, 22, but it's a Kawasaki Ninja H2 SX S. This is not the SE. The SE is slightly different. It's got pannier racks and the suspension's slightly different, so you pay for what you get. This is about 22, 23 grand and the SX is about 25. So what exactly engine we're running? We got a 998 liquid cooled 4-stroke inline 4-cylinder with, here it is, supercharger. How good's that? It's a double overhead cam, 16 valve. It produces 147 kilowatts, which is 197 brake horsepower at 11,000 revs. 137 newton meters, which works out at 101 foot-pounds at 8,500 revs. Awesome, absolutely mind-blowing power. 6-speed chain drive. I should imagine the chain and the tyres do get some stick, and you'll probably be replacing them quite frequently. Should have a look at the edges, the sprocket carrier. Nice big chain. There's the hydraulic clutch operation, quick shifter. Absolutely drop dead gorgeous, isn't it? It holds 19 litres of fuel, and the seat height is 835 mils, and it's not too heavy considering it's 267 kilograms wet. Tyres. We're running a 120/70/17 on the front and a 190/55/17 on the rear. Bridgestone, Batlaks, Hyper Sports, how about them? So we've got some nice big discs and forks. What we got? We got a 43mm upside down fork with twin 320mm discs and Kawasaki badged radial calipers, 4 pots. More than up to the job. Indicators built into the wing mirrors, cornering lights down the side. Fantastic. It is a single-sided swing arm, which is very, very pretty indeed. So we've got an inboard disc, quite difficult to see. It's a mono 250mm with a 2-piston caliper on. They often undersling them. Let's have a look. Yeah, there it is. Underslung, typical of Kawasaki. So what do you think? Adaptive cruise control, blind spots, you name it. It's automatic high beam, connectivity. I don't know, it's got everything in it. As I say, this is the S. It's not got the electronic suspension, but it is fully adjustable. Absolutely fantastic. Anyway, I'm going to get my hat on, I'll give it a ride. I'll do a bit of dual carriageway work, and I'll do a bit of what I normally do, so we'll see what it's like. So I'm going to get it up to the dual carriageway now, so next time you see me, I'll be having a go with the adaptive cruise. See you in a minute. Okay YouTube, welcome back. We had a nice little walk around in the sun. Went in a 50 up the hill. Let's just get up to 50. There we go, 50. Right, so I'm going to drop it down onto the dual carriageway with a national speed limit, and we'll give it a bit of thrash, shall we see what it's like. So we're going to take a left here and a sharp left. So we just slow down, make sure it's clear. Wait for the little blue one. Okay. Here we are. National. Bit of traffic about. We're in 3rd gear. Let's have a look. It's looking pretty clear. Let's give it a bit of stick. That is what's called a rapid. Okay, so I'm going to drop the cruise control on. I'm going to up it to right, so now there's a vehicle in front of us, and I've set the cruise at 76. The bike is doing 67. I've got, no, there it is. Absolutely amazing. That's your adaptive cruise control. Because there's a vehicle there, it won't let me go no faster. So if I was signalled to move out, as soon as I clear the traffic, it straight away accelerates up. I'll slow down again, come back. So we're doing smack on 70. I'll set the cruise at 70. Now if the vehicle in front was to start slowing down, we would automatically slow down with it. It's quite clever. So car coming up on the outside, little triangle lights up to say you've got a vehicle in your blind spot. Absolutely amazing. Unbelievable. So I'm going to get off at the junction, come back on and just give it a bit of thrash again. But as I say, we're set at 70 and we're only doing 65, 66. It's going a bit faster, so we're going 68, 69. There we are, we're doing 70. Now it will hold 70 until the car in front slows down. We're turning off. I'll just drop the cruise off. We're going to basically do a UE and come back round onto the dual carriageway. So you press this little clock to activate the cruise. I'll just switch it off. So if you look at the dash, there it is, the clock comes on there, the clock comes on there. This little car with the little blinds behind it is to signify that you've got the adaptive on. So here we go, nice and steady, we're all clear. We're going to stay back on the dual carriageway. I'm going to do a third gear roll on again. In fact, I'm going to do a fourth gear just to see what the pickup's like. So we're up to 40. I'm just going to have a quick look in the blind spot. Car coming, so I'm going to slow down. I'm going to nibble in between. Here we go now. Oh, that's absolutely effortless in fourth gear. You get the full range of the torque. It's wonderful. So I'll pull over. I'll just set the cruise on again at 70. So because the car in front has slowed down a bit, it's not allowing me to go anywhere. So here we go. I'm going to put the cruise on 80. As it happens, it won't work because there's a tractor. But now the car's gone, it wants to accelerate. Did you see that? So if you've got an empty expanse in front of you and everybody moves into the middle lane to hog it, all of a sudden you're going to speed up. So I'm set at 80 again. Now it's slowing me down. So I'm going to signal overtake. Did you see all the red lights flash up? That's because we was approaching a vehicle quite quickly and the adaptive cruise control wasn't really sure which lane I was in. So I'm just going to drift it down, nice and steady, 60 mile an hour. I've got to say, I think this bike is absolutely amazing. And the more I ride it, the more comfortable. I've found by sitting further forwards, I can get my knees tucked in. I've got a good, I don't know, 3 inches behind me, but it's so much more comfortable to be forward. Anyway, shall we take it down a few twisties? I'll get off this and I'll get on some twisties. See you in a minute. Here we go, International. That's supercharger. I'll drop down to 30. That's supercharger done off, spin up. So I'll stick it in third gear and I'll just drop the cruise on at 30. There we are. I'll take a left down to Portreath. Here we go. Just cancel the indicator. I'm on cruise. We're doing 28, 29 mile an hour down the hill. So just see what it feels like. It's not what I'd call a BMW cruise control. if you've ridden one, you'll know what I mean. They're very precise whether you're on a downhill or an uphill. You can feel it trying to slow you down, and then there's a bit of a lag, but it's not bad. Got to be very careful on the roads this time of year. It's a Saturday afternoon, and it's holiday time in Cornwall, so there's a lot of people who aren't used to riding on our roads, because at the end of the day they are pretty nadgery, pretty tight and gnarly. But hopefully I'll pick up the Port Towan Road in a sec, and we'll be able to give it a bit of a razz round some twisties. The only thing I can possibly really compare this to is the Hayabusa. I suppose you could compare it to the new MS1000R, because that's got something like 200 odd brake horsepower, the same, and the Busa's the same. It's longer and more sport touringy than the S1000. It's very much like a tall, nimble Busa. There's lots more leg room than the Busa, and to be fair, in general, I think I prefer it. The finish on the Busa is amazing. I rode the black and gold one, and the finish on this is just unbelievable. It pops. The colour is amazing. Anyway, let's see. We get a few overtakes in. So we're coming down through, well, going up through Cambrose. You only have to look at the overtake and bank. You know, that's sort of sports bike power, that is. You know, 2010 blade. You literally look where you want to go. Third gear, give the throttle a bit of a prod, and I ain't joking, you're there. Here we go again. It's nice to get that supercharger chirping up a little bit. Here we go again. You only need third gear. Yeah, this handles well. Look where you want to go. The steering's so light, so positive. Uphill now. This is steeper than it looks. Third gear. Yeah. This bike has got the lot. You could tour continents on it. I'm not sure what the fuel economy is like on it. I should imagine it shouldn't be too bad. It's nothing like one of those MT10s or Ducati V4S's. This is a far nicer type of ride. So we're dropping down into a 40. I'll just nibble past the first van, see if it's clear. No, it's a blind bend. It's slightly to the left, so I'll just take my time a sec. He's only doing 10 mile an hour, the trailer. I suppose he's frightened of it running away with him down the hill. Here we go. Nice easy overtake. Move out into the open. Give it a squeeze. I'm finding sitting forward, like I said, it's more, not only more comfortable for my knees in the tank, it's probably better on my wrists as well. It gives you a chance to sort of grip the tank with your knees more, and just relax your shoulders and hold on to the handlebars a bit lighter. Still in a 40, nice and steady. We're going to go uphill into a 60 in a sec. Here we go into the National. Just squeeze the throttle. Yeah, that quick shifter's lovely, lovely jubbly. Blip it down. Look where you want to go. Drop your shoulder and squeeze. Up to 6th gear. Car's pulling out on me. I'm going to just ease off slightly to 50. Yeah, this is a nice bike. This is. You don't see that many about. There's a chap in our club got one. He's Simon. He's out in Germany at the moment. It happens on it. He's got one, and I believe it's his second one. He loves them to bits. I've got to say, from my point of view, I think it's probably just a bit too much for me. I couldn't help myself by being a bit naughty on this. I don't think my wife Linda would like the rear seat. It's quite high and perched. There's no real provision for a top box. Although the SE, you can get panniers, and they're very effective and they look quite good. I believe they're Givi made. So you can do a bit of anything on this bike. I suppose what you could say is it a little bit too much overload just for one person to get touring on and to scratch on the rest of the year? I don't think I'd want to go to work on it. It's too nice, too clean, too new. That's a 5th gear pull away. How about that? You know, I don't think I'd want to ride it all year round in the depths of winter with all the rubbish on the roads. So I don't know. I suppose the bragging rights when you go down to club meet it's top of the tree, isn't it? We're back in a national. Yeah, you've got the top of the tree, the SX H2. Gorgeous looking machine. Anyway, I'm going to take a right here at the junction and start heading back towards Lana. I'll do a brake test for you in a sec when I get round the corner. I'm not sure whether you can hear that chirp. It's fantastic, it is. So then it spins, you get a whistle. So here we go. There's nothing about behind me. I'll get it on the flat here. So we're doing 40 odd mile now, front brake. Oh yes, absolutely amazing. The ABS did kick in. I did jam it on good and proper. The tyre dug into the road. I'll do it again. Yeah, that's fantastic, that is. The tyre just digs into the road and you stop. These brakes are fantastic. Now then, we're going downhill slightly. I'm going to just give the back brake a bit of a stab. Absolutely nothing. It's probably just enough to control you in slow manoeuvres, or when you want to back it into bends and whatever, you can just control it with it. You can be as heavy fisted as you want with that back brake and you ain't got to worry about it. So front and back. Oh yeah. On a sixpence. Thank God it's got ABS, because I did give it a proper handful and it did squirrel about a little bit. You can feel the front end dipping as the tyre digs in and the back end getting a bit light. Yeah, you can have some fun on one of these. I wouldn't put anybody off buying one of these. Let's face it, these days, this is, I think, as I said, the full-blown SE is 25 grand. You can pick one of these up for less than 22. So, £22,000. What can you buy? You know, what can you buy these days for 22 grand? GS, RS, one of the Ducatis. You wouldn't get the big one. I don't know. Prices have gone mental, haven't they? So I suppose if you put it into perspective, by the time you'd bought an R1250 RS, spec'd it up with all the bits and pieces, you know, you'll be talking 19 grand for one of them. And I've got to say, to compare this with an RS, there's just no comparison. You know, when you start talking, comparing the 1000 SX with an RS, yeah, maybe, but this, the H2, it's on a whole different ball game. It's on another dimension, power-wise. So it's very difficult nowadays to sort of say what you would compare it with. As we say, like most bikes, we got that sort of sweet area. We ride between 40 and 70. You put this in second and third gear and just rip the throttle back and you're already doing 70. It's just unbelievable. Anyway, there's another string to its bow. It's got the hill hold, the hill start. And I've been trying to find a hill to demonstrate it to you. We'll find one in a minute. So we'll carry on round. We're not that far from Lanna. Finding roads that would be suitable for this bike, I don't know. It's a toughie, isn't it? It is a toughie. I'm just looking at the dash and the B arcade, this little one here on the right. Can you see as I've put pressure on the... That's fantastic. So I'm on hill hold now. I'm on a slight hill. There's no rolling. Comes off lovely. Very little revs required to get it off. I'm out anyway. We're away. So the hill hold works and it activates with a good firm pull, and the slightest bit of release on the clutch and throttle and it comes off. That's fantastic really, isn't it? I remember when we first started having hill holds on bikes, people were revving them and kangarooing them and all sorts of nonsense. It took them a while to get used to it. I'll just cut through here. So Cornwall Kawasaki. It's changed hands over the last few years. Terry and the old gang have moved on, and it's a new broom. A chap called Mark's took over. He's a biker. He rode bikes most of his life. He comes from a car background, but he's a BMW man, and him and his wife have bought the dealership, and they've turned Cornwall Kawasaki into a proper old-fashioned bike shop. He'll buy and sell bikes. Right, as I was saying, he'll buy any bikes, any manufacturer. So when you go in the showroom, there's all sorts, like a multi-franchise, it's got a bit of everything. And all clean and tidy and well looked after. But the main bread and butter is Kawasaki. They're a Kawasaki dealership. And as I say, I'm riding the flagship model today. The H2. What a lovely, lovely piece of kit. They all say it's all in the right hand. But I don't know, that power, you just know it's there, it's intoxicating. And you've got to be so good these days, so I don't know what to think. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I've enjoyed riding this bike. Anyway, so, if you want to see more Lofty John videos, the Lofty Biker, click on that like, subscribe, ring the bell. You'll get notifications. I do try my hardest to put a bike out every Friday, and I try every sort of third Monday to put a bit of a vlog out about something slightly different, motorbike related of course. But my main bread and butter is riding bikes. I love riding bikes. When I get a bit more time, I'd like to get on a few Triumphs and a few Ducatis. Really looking forward to riding those little 400 Triumphs when they come out. But that's another story. But you know the crack. If you want to know anything, you want to ask me anything, feel free. So the H2 SX, I'm 6'5", I'm 17 stone. I've been riding it around for about an hour and a half. I'm ever so comfortable. I've got more and more comfortable as I've rode it. It's a bit of a stretch to the bars, but I've got used to it, and I really have enjoyed riding this bike. So thanks very much to Cornwall Kawasaki for the loan. I might as well wrap it up here now and say, this is the Lofty Biker saying ta-ra for now. Ta-ra.